finally, I have a Giant Fathom that I can sample. And you know, even though it's stock, I did not know they came with 4-piston brakes, which is pretty sweet. He does not have any issues with the crest fork that most people have. He's also 6'1", this is on a large. I hope the seat is not too high, but I'll find out. But I always wanted to ride this bike because it's very budget friendly. It's got decent geometry. It's got through axles in the rear, which was a big improvement from the previous generation. So, but I'm curious to know how this thing rides frame compliant wise and its ability to send. All right, first ride on the Fathom. Doesn't feel weird or anything like that. I gotta get the feel of this bike, so not gonna run the full line yet. Oh shit, this thing should... Okay. It's definitely got a very tinny feel to it. The rear of the rail is bouncing around. Must be a SRAM thing. All right, let me try to clear that table. Yeah, I don't think the seat gets low enough for me. So, steering does feel a lot lighter. Case. Alright, let's see how this thing pumps on the 2 rollers on the top over there. It's got a good engagement hub. Not bad for our entry-level thing. I mean, you definitely feel the case on this. No doubt about it. Fork's not too bad. It's hurting my thumb a little bit. I guess I'll hit it off the drop. Definitely. All right, I'm gonna run one line. My thumb did get jammed from that crash, so this is actually hurting it a little bit. I can definitely feel the, oh my God. Whew. Oh no, that's not enough speed. The seat's definitely too high for me. Even with it down, we'll figure out the next thing. But not the bike's fault. This thing's just one size too big for me in the back end. Yep. It looks so unimpressive on film. I just feel a lot of things bouncing around the back of this bike. Like the derailleur or the chain or something. It's just bouncing and jingling away. But I think it is the bike itself that rides pretty harsh. Yep. Fork's okay. Doesn't have the best small bump. See, how does this thing look? Oh Jesus. Oh my God, I cased it. I had no idea how much speed I needed for that. What? That case wasn't too bad. All right, I'm gonna hit it for real. I've rode that drop, that step down completely blind, because I normally didn't need that much speed with the old feature. But this one I do. I feel like a... Nope. Yeah, that thing is so sketchy. Feel a little bit of Yeah, everything just feels a little loose on this bike. Definitely harshness for sure, no doubt about it. I don't know how much pounds on the tires on this bike. Oh my god, I almost shot that thing. I don't know how kosher that thing is. Okay, it's still good. So as what me and TJ was saying, this frame does ride stiff. I can feel a lot of little roots, pebbles. Tire pressures are about the same. He's running 23 in the rear, 20 in the front. I'm running 22 front and rear. Certain jumps this bike jumps better at, just due to the shorter geometry, like in terms of the overall proportions, and the head being, you know, 66 versus 62 and a half on that one. But and the seat's a little long, you know, but this is a large. But even if it was a medium, it would still be like a 430, which is 10 longer than the typical. So the front half is good. I just can't get low enough. I'm gonna hit the pump track again. I know I can do better. Yeah, I'm not starting from the top because I'm not relying on the speed. This is purely based on how much energy I could pump through this bike. I definitely have more momentum in this half. Let's see how far I roll. Yeah, I rolled it up to here. Rolls pretty fast. Rolled it up to here. It's like, I know this bike is going fast because I rolled it all the way to here without stopping. Right. It just doesn't feel fast. Right, yeah. That's what I noticed too. Yeah. You're going a lot faster than what you Yeah, it feels like you're going slower, but the momentum doesn't lie, like going through there. People talk about the DMR or the T-Mac or whatever these are. It's got the concave pedals. I totally feel the concave. This foot, it also, to my feet, pushes like a weird pressure on the ball. Ooh, no grip over there. Slid out for whatever reason. No faith in this. Okay, jet line, super hard to clear now. All right, the jet line, taking the easy route first. That was a harsh landing. Got smaller gear. Get more speed. Damn it! I pulled really hard on that one too. Dead sailing. Try jet line again. I don't even think I could do it on my own bike. Ah, damn it! Damn it! That case fucked me up. I got the front wheel past the landing. All right. I'm gonna try rolling. See what happens. Can I roll that thing? Yes! The sea hit me in my ass on that one. Okay, it is for you, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, see that rock there? That drop looks open.
I wasn't here. I haven't looked.
Let's see. Let me walk it. I don't know, man.
It wasn't me.
That looks feels a little sketch.
That's a little sketchy.
They got to fill that with dirt. I was wasting valuable GoPro footage. Poison rock. Let's see how this thing takes. Okay, that was a little sus. Didn't land where I wanted to go. Okay. Not too bad here. 29er definitely erases a lot of chatter. You really feel that thing bouncing around. It's like conk, conk, conk. I mean, I'm standing up pedaling right now. Let's see how does it handle these tight areas. This is what the type of trail that this bike is really made for. Oof, that was rough. Okay, wow, that took it really easy. Force deflected a little bit because it wasn't slack enough, but it's fine. All right, here's some fun technical bits that this bike should excel in. Oh, the rear slid out. Rear derailleur clunked again. Must be a SRAM thing. Coming up soon. Feels a little rough here. Okay, I can feel the rear tires bounce. All right, here's the really steep section. This is where I test steep climbing prowess. Seat angle matters here. Yes, this did it good. Front did not get light at all. So far, my impressions of this bike, it's really good, man. For the money, you don't really need to upgrade anything. Only component that stands out is the rear derailleur. It clunks a lot. But that's, you know, NX, and the fact that it even gives you an NX versus an SX, it's pretty good. Maybe they do a Dior now. But yeah, this is an awesome starter bike. If I didn't feel confident on this thing, I wouldn't be, you know, trying new techniques at Jetline either. 66 degree head angle. I thought it was a little steep, but doesn't hold me back in any way here. But I don't think it's really that agile either, at least not to me. So given that maybe this in theory would be slightly more agile in the tight stuff, I have no issues manipulating those sections with my long bike and super slack bike. So it's like, oh my god, I cased the hell out of that thing trying to bunny hop it. I guess in proportion to the other stuff, it just seems that the stack might be a hair low, but Doesn't feel that bad, honestly. Let's see how this thing takes this section. How to do this. No brakes. This thing doesn't have that much traction. It's like I'm on a teetering edge of losing the grip. I can feel it sliding just a little under me. Especially when I'm trying to push into a corner through the bottom bracket. Oh geez, I missed the first few pumps to get the speed. Ah. That's such a weird line. It's so off camber. There you go. That's where you really feel the thing. When you're barreling down straight over there, at that speed, it's not as stable naturally. So, commenting on why I feel like I'm on the edge of teetering, like sliding out. These are dual compound Maxxis tires instead of 3C Max Terra, which explains why this thing pumps pretty good and rolls really fast, but my braking traction was lacking. But they last a long time. I mean, these things got like 2 seasons on them, and the edges are still really sharp and pointy, you know. But yeah, that explains the feeling that I'm getting with this thing. Now, regarding the brakes, these have 4 pistons in them, kind of like, and they feel like an in-between of a SRAM and Shimano. It has that soft lever feel and the modulation of the SRAM brakes, but it uses the Shimano mineral. But I don't know, like, I think a set of brake pads would do wonders on this, because it doesn't feel that sharp. But I don't know if it's because the tires are giving out. I'll find out at that drop. Drop. Clamp down the anchors. No, they took it down. Stop. Oh my god, that barely made it. Okay, it's the tires that's good, not the brakes. The drop to flat. Oof. You're gonna hear this thing clunk. Here you go. What's up, man?
All right, how you doing?
Yep. Oh my god, that hurt. Ah, my thumb. Oh. Oh. I haven't felt like that in a while. That hurt. Oh my god. Whew. So, thoughts on the Giant Fathom 2. Thank you for TJ for letting me try this bike. I always wanted to try it because nobody ever talks about it, and I figured there's always like a hidden gem in this bike. So we'll start from the front and the back. Crest fork has a bad reputation. It works. Take this over a Recon any day, especially for comparable price. Specialized Fuse, which has like, yeah, a Recon. Comes with 4 piston brakes. Small rotors, you know, minor stuff. Put some metallic pads on this thing. Tires last a long time. Sufficient grip, especially if you're starting out. Dual compound, so they roll fast. Last a long time. Internal cable routing. Oh gosh, this would suck to service on your own. And no issues with the chain dropping. I know the Praxis ones that they had like a weird offset for the boost spacing, so people are dropping chains or getting chain stuck on it. Frame doesn't ride good. No way around it. It's a pretty harsh riding bike. Same tire pressures as I mentioned. Comes with an NX. It's good, better than an SX. Never missed a shift. doesn't go shift at all. The derailleur is a little weak. Rear clunks around a lot when you start like plowing through rock garden sections. Seat tube's long. I'd say probably the same length as a Specialized fuse though, but not as short as a more progressive bike. This in a medium would have been a 430, but I think it's like 465 on a large. Reach feels good for me, but just the seat is too long. So that's kind of not allowing me to really move the bike around. You know, all the, but everything else on this bike is bone stock. Stock dropper works really good. The lever works good, doesn't give you thumb sprain like some of the Brand X stuff. This fork I could probably get to feel better if I had more time messing with volume spacers and stuff like that. Because I think DVO made this fork for them. And I mean, it's 1,800 bucks, which seems like a lot for a hardtail, but you don't need to upgrade anything. And this is something that you can just get into and not have to worry about upgrading anything. Now let's compare the Fathom to its rivals, most likely the local bike shop brands such as Specialized Fuse and Trek Roscoe 7. Trek Roscoe 7 being the most aggressive geometry, rivals the Big Al. Now obviously we're going to compare the value aspect of it. The Big Al 1.0 smacks them all down, hands down, because it's 1,800 bucks. Even if you account for shipping, it's like 2,100. But it comes with a bomber fork, comes with full Dior drivetrain, comes with 4-piston brakes. Granted, the drivetrain is an 11-speed, but it's got the same range versus all the other local bike shop brands, which the base model is around $1,800, $1,900, with the Fathom 1 being 1,800 bucks, and that's the top of the line that they have. So let's start with the Specialized Fuse. This thing's a ripoff. $3,000 for a comp, and the components are absolute crap. The frame alone is over $1,000 or $1,000, which is more than what a steel Kona Honzo is. It also comes with a recon. Again, that's an absolute ripoff for $3,000. NX drivetrain's about the same, but it comes with SRAM level T, 4-piston brakes in the front and 2 pistons in the rear. And again, it's got the least aggressive geometry out of all of them at 66.5 degree head angle. Next up is the Trek Roscoe. I have ridden the previous Trek Roscoe, and even though the numbers look really wonky on paper, the frame actually rides really good on that, so I would expect the current generation to be the same. And the Roscoe 7 is the entry level for the current frame, because the Roscoe 6 still has the previous gen frame, so nobody get a Roscoe 6. 7, again, has a geometry slightly more aggressive than the Fathom. It actually is almost the same as the Big Al. Now the components, again, it comes with a recon fork versus the Crest, and I would take the Crest fork over that any day. But this actually has a full better drivetrain, like the actual microspline Shimano, so that means it's going to come with a better back wheel, it's going to come with a better drivetrain, but the brakes are like 200 series, 2-piston brakes, so it's always a give and a take. I would say you can make a case for the Roscoe 7 being a better value than the Fathom, even though the components aren't as good, but I think the frame is going to be a better frame. The brand that you can get at a local bike shop will be the Marin San Quetin. I've built the 23 San Quetin, but it's a custom build. The stock components are really weird on it, but I think if you're just going to ride it from the get-go, maybe the San Quetin 2 and 3 would be equivalent to the Fathom, but the frame definitely is much better on that. It rides better. The geometry is exactly what I like. However, that is a brand new next generation frame compared to the Fathom, which is already a couple of years old. And then you have to go direct to consumer to get a better value for sure, which would be the Commencal Meta HT, again, or the Ragley Big. Like, I would take the Fathom over the Meta because the Meta is just way too stiff, and the fact that they advertise it as like a super hardcore hardtail, but it really isn't. And the components on it is pretty crap. You get a RockShox 35, you get same drivetrain with a combination of SX, but it's got an SX derailleur versus the NX derailleur. It does have a dropper, but it's $2,200 if it's not on sale, which is just way too much. That frame really needs to be updated also. And finally, again, the Ragley. You can't beat the Ragley. It rides amazing. but you have no bike shop support, and it's got to come from the UK, mailed to you. So if you're willing to take the plunge and work on the bike yourself, obviously the Big Al 1.0 is the best value compared to everything else. Any other questions, just feel free to message me. Thanks for watching. Bye.